The average person walks around 4,000 steps a day, literally the definition of a sedentary lifestyle, and with it comes a boatload of health problems. Prolonged periods of stillness is completely foreign to how we evolved as human beings. But if you follow the walking for weight loss schedule that I'm about to tell you, it can easily get you 90% of your exercise requirement for health. And if you take things a step further and incorporate the ninja trick I'm about to tell you, it'll get you to 100% without ever having to go to the gym. This is exactly what one of my coaching clients did for exercise, and she lost 25 pounds of fat in 6 months. So there are 5 major components you need to focus on when you're walking to maximize fat burning. First up, go for a walk first thing in the morning. When you wake up, your body is in a naturally fasted state, meaning you just went all night without eating. And the human body, being the supercomputer that it is naturally going to tap into stored energy in the form of glycogen in your muscles and liver, as well as body fat for fuel. It's able to do that because insulin, the storing hormone, is naturally going to be low in the morning when you're in that fasted state. Insulin is basically the switch to fat burning or fat storing. So anchoring a morning walk during that fasted state will then help accelerate that fat burning process, because walking almost guarantees to keep you below your maximum aerobic heart rate. It's where you're mostly utilizing fatty acids for energy. It's the infamous fat burning zone. This is why walking, believe it or not, is a way more effective fat loss tool than running. Because A, walking is way more enjoyable and relaxing, which means it's a lot easier to stay consistent with it. And B, jogging/running is almost guaranteed to put you past your maximum aerobic heart rate, which is 180 minus your age in beats per minute, by the way. When you go past your maximum aerobic heart rate, now you're burning a combination of glucose and fatty acids. It's also way more stressful to your body, which means you'll probably have really strong cravings afterwards, and you're more likely to reach for something sugary or starchy. The worst part is chronic cardio patterns, like going for a jog every day, is also directly linked to that undesired weight gain around your belly. Running is also associated with a lot of injuries. Seriously, just ask any runner. Now, if you want to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, instead of jogging, which sucks, you should think about rucking instead. It's infinitely more effective when it comes to your fat loss goals. If you've never heard of rucking before, it's walking with a weighted backpack. It's actually the foundation of Special Forces training. I mean, think about all the gear that they have to carry on their backs. It's also something that we're just naturally good at as human beings. And rucking as a form of exercise is quite unique because it requires strength and endurance. It's great cardio for those people who hate cardio, like me. At the same time, it's a great way to add some resistance training to your routine without really adding that much more to your plate, which means that your rate of perceived exertion is still low. You're just habit stacking. I think that you're gonna love rucking, especially if you're not a big fan of going to the gym or you're currently not doing any form of resistance training. This could be a complete game changer for you. It could very well be the answer you've been looking for when it comes to exercise. And this is coming from a guy who goes to the gym basically every day and is a former national level weightlifter here in Canada. I'm telling you, you don't have to go to the gym to lose weight and get fit. I'm really all about giving everyone a fighting chance by removing as many barriers as possible when it comes to exercise. Think about rucking as movement with purpose. It burns more calories than walking and builds strength at the same time. You can basically call it active resistance training, meaning it's part active cardio and part strength resistance ruck training. It's the best of both worlds. It's basically walking on steroids, minus all the negative side effects, which then translates to permanent metabolic gains from stronger muscles and bones. And muscle, in case you didn't know, is your metabolic currency. It's the key driver of your metabolism. It's the largest site for glucose disposal. It's what pays for the dance, meaning the more muscle you have, the more carb allowance you have. This is how you earn your carbs. Rucking also improves your posture, especially if you spend a lot of time sitting like this, because the weighted backpack pulls your shoulders back. I'm completely obsessed with it, in case you can't tell. I personally invested in this rucksack that I got from goruck.com. I'm not affiliated with them. I just love their stuff. But you don't need to spend any money on this if you don't want to. You can just wear a normal backpack with weights inside it. Like if you have weight plates or a dumbbell at home, great. Maybe wrap the dumbbell in a towel so it's not poking around your back. If you don't have any gym equipment, it's not a big deal. Just get something like an empty laundry detergent container, fill it with water, and throw it in a backpack. And there's your DIY rucksack. I just saved you $200. If you can't find either, carry a piece of rock with you. Get creative. Sometimes I carry my 25-pound pug with me. But normally, I personally rock 20% of my body weight. But if you're new, just start with 10 to 15%. Heck, just start with 10 to 15 pounds. Whatever's lighter, that should be doable for everyone. And then just walk. It's as simple as that. You're gonna be shocked how effective rocking is as a form of active resistance training. I mean, just think about it. When you start rocking 10 to 20% of your body weight, when you go for a walk multiple times a day, that's a lot of time under tension. Your body then is gonna adapt to that stimulus by building muscle and making your bones stronger. The best part is you can go rocking anytime and anywhere regardless of your fitness level. It's also highly scalable, like you can increase the weight or the distance. Talk about redefining the minimum effective dose of exercise here. Now, when it comes to timing, I recommend going for a 15-minute walk or ruck first thing in the morning before doing anything else, like before you eat anything. Again, you want to take advantage of that fat-burning fasted state because when you eat, that automatically switches you to fat storing mode. You can drink a glass of water or brew some black coffee and take it with you when you go for your walk. And don't worry, black coffee still keeps you in that fasted state, but get outside as quickly as possible the moment you wake up. Now you're probably wondering, why? Well, physically exposing your eyes to morning sunlight helps regulate your natural circadian rhythm. Circadian literally means circle of day. Moderate sun exposure to your eyes and skin also helps regulate your 20,000 genes. And by moderate sun exposure, I'm talking about morning and late afternoon sunlight. Because we evolved for 2.5 million years to align our circadian rhythm with the rising and setting of the sun. I think that optimizing circadian health is something that you're going to hear more about in the future. And you heard it here first. Physically exposing your eyes to morning sunlight sends a signal to your body that it's actually daytime. So, for the love of golden retriever puppies, don't wear sunglasses when you go outside. If you wear sunglasses, you might look cool, but you're sending the wrong signal to your body. The multi-billion-dollar sunglass industry does not want you to know that. Also, do not wear store-bought sunscreen because of this article. And by the way, don't limit yourself to just 15 minutes of walking. I'm recommending 15 minutes because it's doable for everyone, but feel free to go longer. You can't really overdo it. Also, there's no such thing as bad weather, in my opinion. You're just not dressed appropriately. I live in Canada right now, and I still go for my regularly scheduled walks even if it's minus 25 degrees Celsius outside. When I lived in Mexico, I still went for my daily walk even when it was raining. I just wore a raincoat. But at the absolute worst case, you can just walk on a treadmill if you have one at home. Or you can walk around your house. But nothing beats the outdoors because you also get some sun exposure on your skin. It's actually a nutrient. It's something that you physically get. Sunlight is synthesized with cholesterol to make vitamin D, which is actually more of a hormone and your body needs it to thrive. A majority of people, especially if you live far from the equator, like the northern US states above the 45th parallel and Canada, are vitamin D deficient, especially if you're not actively seeking moderate sun exposure. Side note, moderate sun exposure is actually protective against the big C. And being outside, especially if you can do your walk somewhere close to nature, like a park, a trail, or close to a body of water, also helps expose your body to negative ions. If you can walk around barefoot, even just for a little bit, or even just physically touch a tree to get some grounding, even better. And this is where the benefits of walking outdoors goes way beyond weight loss. Because nature bathing has been scientifically proven to lower stress, anxiety, and depression because it increases the brain's release of a hormone/neurotransmitter called serotonin. And it's associated with boosting a person's mood, helping them feel more calm and focused. And in case you didn't know, depression is now the leading cause of disability worldwide. I have yet to meet anyone who didn't feel better after spending some time in nature. When I went to Japan, they often practice forest bathing or Shinrin-yoku. There's also a dose-response relationship, meaning the more you get, the more the benefits. So get in your park prescription. Next up, go for a 15-minute walk after every meal. You want to wait around 15 minutes to let your body digest a little, then go for a 15-minute walk. A 15-minute walk after a meal has been shown to cut the blood sugar and insulin response by half, as shown by people wearing continuous glucose monitors or CGMs. It cuts the peak and the duration of that postprandial glycemic response. And the faster you can regulate blood glucose and insulin, the faster you can get back into fat burning. It also helps with digestion. It just moves things around. Walking has also been shown to be twice as effective as metformin, a common blood sugar medication, when it comes to managing blood sugar, as studied. Guys, movement is medicine. I say that a lot because we now live in a society where 1 in 3 Americans are at least pre-diabetic or fully diabetic. That's over 90 million people. 75% of all Americans are either overweight or obese. Walking is something that almost everyone can do. That's why having a gym membership is not required in my online coaching program. I get all my coaching clients to establish a daily walking routine first. Now, throughout the day, and this is going to be when most people are going to be sedentary, you're just sitting and not moving much, it's really easy to just bury your head for 8 hours. This is when you want to be intentional and integrate movement breaks. For every hour where you're completely sedentary, you want to move for at least 2 minutes. I mean, just get up and walk around your office or your house. You can even do a 2-minute micro workout and do some push-ups and air squats. This actually helps increase productivity because you're promoting blood and oxygen flow throughout your body. You immediately feel better. When it comes to fat burning specifically, your metabolism could actually go down by as much as 80% when you're completely sedentary for an hour, and it drops by as much as 90% if you're just sitting still for 2 hours. This is why I always say that you need to move. You're not a tree. Being sedentary for extended periods of time is completely foreign to the human body. So every little bit of movement helps, even if it's just a couple of minutes every hour. Now, the last component, but easily the most important walk you need to take, is a post-dinner walk. Going back to optimizing circadian health, we're naturally more insulin resistant at night. Again, we evolved to do everything during daylight hours. So going for that post-dinner walk becomes that much more crucial when it comes to regulating blood sugar and insulin. That's why eating an early dinner is way better for your health, which is also why the combination of late night snacking and excessive blue light exposure at night is one of the worst things that you can do for your circadian health. So many people are guilty of that. And this is a 2-for-1 deal if you go for a walk outside, because now you're exposing your eyes to the sun setting and even some darkness. Like, why do you think we're so drawn towards a pretty sunset? This, again, goes back to helping regulate your natural circadian clock. Now you're sending a signal to your body to start that rest and repair process that it needs to function optimally. It helps kickstart something called dim light melatonin onset, or DLMO. Melatonin, in case you didn't know, is basically the sleep hormone. So as you can see, being strategic with your walking schedule is one of the best ways to regulate your circadian clock, because sleep, in case you didn't know, is the foundation of health. It's more important than diet and exercise combined. So if you go for the 3 15-minute walks that I'm recommending, plus the movement breaks, it should get you at least roughly around 8,000 steps. And if you move twice as much as the average person, you're most likely gonna look and feel a lot different. Now, if you enjoyed this video and want to keep doing a deep dive because there's so much more to learn, then you're gonna love this one. I'll see you there.